NFL Week 3 is here just like that. To kick things off, we got another AFC East showdown on Thursday Night Football. Welcome back, or welcome to America's Sports. The Patriots travel to New York to face the Jets for their second road game, while the Jets get to host their first home game in Week 3. The Jets are a -6 home favorite with the over-under sitting at 38.5. The winner of this game can take at least second place in the AFC East. After this, the Patriots will host Miami in Week 5 in their next AFC East game. The Jets' next AFC East game will host Buffalo in Week 6. I know one thing, it's going to be loud at the Jets Stadium at MetLife. By the time this game kicks off, it's going to be about 70 degrees, and there is a pretty good chance of a little bit of rain. When we look at this AFC East rivalry, it's pretty one-sided. The last time they played, the Jets did win, which is huge for building confidence in this one. But that is the only Jets win over this series since 2015. And yes, the Jets are favored by 2 field goals. The Patriots, though, not being favored, that's just something that I feel like they're already used to, and they don't really care much about that because they're not going to be favored in just about all of their games this year. The Patriots have won against the spread in both of their games this year, while the Jets are 1-1 against their spread. Now, when it comes to play style, they are relatively the same, or at least they have been throughout the first couple weeks. They want to play defense, they want to slow you down, and they want to run the football more than anything. The Patriots offense has mainly featured Rhamondre Stevenson. Through the air, the big one last week was Hunter Henry. They boast a great running back, a quarterback who hasn't really made any mistakes, and a defense with a thirst to prove themselves. Not to mention a first-year head coach who has also done a pretty good job. They lost in overtime in Week 2, or they would be 2-0 right now. Nobody would have predicted that, man. I don't even think Patriots fans would have. The Jets feature a lot of the same things. They feature a great running back in Breece Hall, a veteran, skilled, competent quarterback who doesn't turn the ball over very much, but instead of a lot of tight end usage like the Patriots use, the Jets really don't use the tight ends much, or as much as they should, but they've got receivers to back that up. The only thing with the Jets so far through 2 games is we thought the defense would be further along than they are. But this defense can still be great, and we might start seeing glimpses of that on Thursday. If you've been watching this channel for a little bit of time, you will know I am big on the offensive and defensive lines. That's where games are won and lost at. And when we look at the injury report, there's a lot on New England's offensive line. I think the Jets could make this a huge problem for New England, as basically everyone on the starting offensive line for New England, except for Robinson, are either out or questionable. They held up against Cincinnati in Week 1, but Seattle did sack Brissett 3 times, and they were able to stop Brissett from getting out of the pocket and running. Cincinnati did not. So if I'm the Jets, winning at the defensive line and stopping the run is going to win this game, even if the offense just has a par or even a subpar kind of night. New England has to hope to be even better on defense, and so far through the numbers, they have been better on defense than the Jets. As when we look at the Jets injury report, really out of all the starters, the only one we don't know about is CJ Mosley, and that's a big one. He did not practice on Wednesday. He's questionable to go. Alright, let's look at some props, shall we? For the passing yards over-under, I like the under in both of these simply because neither Rodgers or Brissett has hit the over on this yet. Rodgers' over for passing yards is 214.5, and Brissett's is 164.5. Brissett is averaging on the season 135, while Rodgers on the season is averaging 171.5. For rushing props, we got Stevenson at 65.5. He averages 100 right now per game. So if you're someone who leans with New England, you would expect that Stevenson is going to have a good day in order to win this. So I don't mind that one at all, and I really don't mind the Antonio Gibson over 23.5. He's averaging 6.3 yards a carry and 57 yards per game. I'd be more inclined to hit the over for the rushing yards for the Patriots than I would the Jets. Everyone loves Breece Hall, so I think a lot of people are going to go with the over here. I would much rather go with Breece Hall at an anytime touchdown than I would with the over on the rush yards. Not saying that he's not going to do it or anything like that. I just would be more comfortable with that. For over-under receiving yards, I don't really trust any of it. If you want to go with the Braylon Allen over 8.5, then by all means. But I don't really like any of the receiving or the passing props. I'd be more towards rushing props. Hunter Henry over 33.5. I know he just had a big day, and the Jets are aware of that as well. But with the shortened game plan, it might be going to Henry a lot. I think this is going to be a low-scoring game, especially if it rains. Two good defenses who haven't generated a ton in the passing game yet. They love to run the ball, they love to play defense, and they know each other pretty well. Last time they played, the game was 17-3. The under in primetime has been a motherfucker, and it's going to stay that way, in my predictions anyways. I've got the Jets to win. I do not have them to cover. I think they do win by a couple of field goals, maybe a field goal. I think this is going to be a close game, but I think the Jets pull it out. We are on a bit of a roll when it comes to predicting these games. Straight up, I have not predicted a game wrong yet. I am 3-1 against the over-unders. 3-1 against the spread as well. Now, these are primetime games. On last week's Thursday night preview video, James W. here said you should come out with a saying like, giving you all the important information before Amazon does. And shout out to you, sir. Because it's true, and not only do we give you all the important information and stats before Amazon, but we try to do it a day before everybody else, so that you can be one step ahead of whatever you need this information for. What are some of the things that you're seeing in this game? But most importantly, who's going to win this game? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Anyways, that's going to do it for this one. You'll catch me in the next one, which is Sunday Night Football, and then we got Monday Night Football right after it. Look at that.